Hey you guys, how you doing? Deshaun here. Baby, let me tell you something. I know y'all been waiting patiently to find out what happened, and I'm finna tell y'all. I'm finna tell y'all what I know. I'm gonna tell y'all my side. Okay, let me say my grace first. God's great, God's good. Let's thank for our food while I am much fair, give us our daily bread. Amen. Okay, so y'all remember Vanilla Chai? Remember him? I know it's been a while since yeah, I know, yeah. But y'all remember Vanilla Chai, yeah. So remember he wanted me to go in business with him. And you know, I I was still in the process of getting to know him and whatnot. And remember I had scheduled him for later, for way later. Remember, y'all remember. So I had scheduled him for later so we could, have a sit down and really get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we always we talk well. At the time, we were talking every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day, but I wanted us. Well, we both wanted to have like a sit down where we can have a real important conversation, right? Face to face. That's what we needed. So I had, cause y'all know I'm always busy. I'm always busy, and he's always busy too. So that's why I scheduled him for way later. I scheduled him for way later. I made time. I made space for him way later. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So that moment had finally came, you guys. And when I tell, hold up, y'all know I like to eat my food when it's hot. When I tell y'all I was so nervous, I ain't never been nervous about uh meeting somebody for lunch. I ain't never ever. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'd be excited. I was so nervous. So like the day before, like my body, I don't know, man. I was feeling weird and and I know he was excited. He was telling me how excited he was, and I think that's what man. How you open this up? I think that's what kind of scared me because I didn't want to disappoint him. You know what I'm saying? Because like normally when we see each other, it's all good and we just ha ha he he whatever. But this time I knew it was gonna be different because he done told me. First of all, y'all know in the beginning it wasn't for me. It was for my homegirl. So it was different now that it was for me, and I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? So that day before when we were supposed to meet up, baby, when I tell you I was so discombobulated, y'all. I was, we like everything. I was just so nervous. Like I can't even explain how I was feeling. I ain't never been nervous like that before. But he picked up on it. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just ready for tomorrow." And he was like, "Yeah, me too." He was like really, really excited. I was like, so that's what scared me. I was like, "Why he's so excited? Why he's so excited?" So fast forward. So when the day came, so the plans were we were supposed to meet each other at first. We had planned it out for breakfast. So I scheduled everything to be later on in the day. I was like, I'm gonna have breakfast with him, and then I'm gonna get my day started. Whatever. That's how I planned out everything. But then he told me he was like, can we switch it for lunch? And I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, that'll work because that's what I'm used to doing anyways, going to lunch. You know what I'm saying? So that worked out better. You know what I'm saying? That's what my grace. Let me tell you just in case. God's great, God's good. Thank you for our food, but I hear much forgive us all day. But amen. I'm drooling, yeah. I'm so hungry. So the day of, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we're gonna have lunch together, and before then, we had already planned what we were gonna eat and everything, because he had told me about this restaurant that I ain't never heard of before. He sent me the menu and everything, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. Like the food, y'all, it looked so good. It was a restaurant I ain't never heard of before. The food looked, all of it looked amazing. And I told him that, I was like, all that food looked good. I was like, I can eat just about anything on that menu. So he's a foodie like I am. So he was excited too about the food. He was like, yeah. He was like, we're gonna go. He was like, we're gonna order everything, eat everything. And I was like, yeah, I was all for it, y'all. Y'all know I love me some food. So here it go. The day of, y'all. I don't know. Like, I was so scared. I was like, okay. I'm looking at the time. So I'm going about my day. And I was like, oh, it's almost lunchtime. I was like, it's almost time. Whatever. I was so nervous, y'all. I was so nervous. So he had, oh, I forgot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So, where else that bitch out? So, the day of, I was nervous, and the time, I was like, it's almost time for lunch. And normally I be excited about lunch. But I was so nervous, y'all, because I was like, what? Like, why am I nervous about him? Like, I should be used to him by now. I was like, what is it? And I was like, okay, maybe it's because of the restaurant that he taking me to, because the restaurant, y'all, when he showed me the menu, the food did look good, but that food was expensive. It was like extra expensive. So that was kind of a little bit part of my fear, because I was like, what if we go to this expensive restaurant and the food, it looked good, but what if it tastes nasty? So that was kind of like how you know what I'm saying? So he had hit me up, and you know it was around the lunchtime, whatever, but it wasn't at the time that we were supposed to meet. It was like a little bit before the lunchtime. So he was like, he told me he was at the doctor's office and whatnot, and I knew he had a doctor's appointment and whatnot, because whenever I be at my, this what I like about him is, like, whenever I had doctor's appointment, I would be talking to him about my doctor's appointment or whatever, and he would always check up on me. Like, whenever I had doctor's appointments, he was always checking up on me, make sure everything was going right at the doctor's. So I did like that about him. So you know what I'm saying? Because he was caring. It seemed like he cared. You know what I mean? So this time he had a doctor's appointment, and while he was at the doctor's office, we talking to each other while he at the doctor. Yeah. You don't understand how hungry I was. I've been doing so good with eating healthy and whatnot, and I've been drinking a lot of water, and I've been not snacking. Y'all know normally I give me some good old snacks. I have not been snacking, y'all. So no why I'm so hungry, because I ain't been snacking. So normally at nighttime when I get hungry, I have a snack. But I ain't been snacking, y'all. Yeah. Pause. Wow. My baby gonna tell me yesterday talking about can she have a snack? Mind you, this was at bedtime. Talking about can she have a snack? I was like, you don't need no snack. I was like, you not hungry. You just asking for a snack because you just want to be awake. She was like, normally, mama, when I want a snack, you let me have a snack. That is true. Normally, I do let you have a snack, but I was like, not this time. I was like, cause you know, you just want to eat just to eat. You know what I'm saying? You're not eating because you're hungry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to let her understand that, you know, eating too much, that's a sin. And when you something eating and you're not hungry, that can make you sick. You know, I was trying to explain that to her, whatever. But then I was low key in my feelings because I was like, what if she really was hungry? And I was like, nah, ain't no way she's hungry. She just finished eating. Like she had ate dinner, and then, you know, after dinner, you know, we'll later have like a little healthy snack. She done had a healthy snack and all that. I didn't have no snack, but they, you know what I'm saying, you know, they had a healthy snack, whatever with food. So you know, I was like, this girl really tried me, because she was like, mama, she said, you normally let me have a snack. And I was like, you already had a snack. But anyways, play. Back to Vanilla Chop. Oh. You know, he had his doctor's appointment. We talking, he was telling me what was going on at his appointment. Like, he was in the waiting room forever. So I'm looking at the time, I'm like my lunch break is not that long. You know what I'm saying? My lunch break not that long. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, I'm drooling, y'all. Hold on, I gotta eat, y'all. Anyway, I'm looking at the time because I'm like, my lunch break is not that long, and my lunch break is getting ready to start, and we haven't even got to the restaurant yet. And I know when we go to the restaurant, we're gonna have to wait to be seated unless he done, you know, called ahead, or, you know what I'm saying. Then it's gonna take some time to cook. It's gonna, like, I already know what I want, but he probably gonna want to look at the menu. I'm just thinking about all the time. So I was nervous about that. So he was like, he was telling me what was going on at his appointment, and I was like, have you seen the doctor yet? And he was like, no, I'm still in the waiting room. I was like, you been there this whole time and they ain't seen you? He was like, no, they ain't seen me. I was like, I don't know. So in my mind, I'm thinking we're gonna have to reschedule. We're gonna have to reschedule, which is gonna push him back. Cause I'm already booked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to reschedule, and it's gonna push him like probably 2-3 months back. You know what I'm saying? So he proceeds to tell me, he was like, you remember how you interviewed me and everything? And I was like, yeah. Because y'all remember I interviewed him because I was trying to hook him up with my homegirl. So that's why I interviewed him. And I was like, yeah, what about it? And he was like, I want to interview you now. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I guess it would be right for him to interview me. You want to go in business with me? Yeah, you need to interview me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I ain't say that, but that's what I was thinking. So he was like, yeah. He said, you interviewed me for all them months. I was like, no. I said, that's not true. I said, when we was first, you know, when we first met and everything, it was just me and you Kool-Aid and whatever. I was like, I didn't start interviewing you until my homegirl said what she said, and I said that was like months later. And he started laughing or whatever. So I was like, is he playing with me? Is he joking with me? Is he serious? I was like, okay. He said, yeah, because you've been stalking me for months. I said, stalking you? And he started laughing. I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, is he playing? Because I didn't know, y'all, because, like, I don't know him on that level to know when he's playing or not. Because I noticed, like, sometimes when he be telling me he telling me a joke that he'll say it's a joke, it don't be funny. To me, a joke is supposed to be funny. And I ain't gonna say no names, but certain people I know, they always say it's a joke, but it don't never be funny. And that's how it is with him. It be situations and he'll say it's a joke, but it don't be funny. I feel like a joke should be funny. So anyways, fast forward. So, I was so hungry, y'all. Listen, we'll talk about that later. But so you know, he was asking me questions, and I was answering them the best that I could. Cause I was like, okay, what if this is a real interview? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, why do I need to be interviewed? Because you want me to come work with you. I don't want to work with you. You asking me to come work with you. That was what I was thinking. I ain't say that. I ain't say that. But that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why I got an interview and he want me and I don't. He coming to me. You know, that's what I was thinking. I ain't say that. I thought I was answering the questions pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was being my true, honest self. You know, and if he had a problem with what I was saying, that was his time and opportunity to say, "Oh no, that's not gonna work." But you know, we laughing and whatnot, and then I'm like, "Are you still at your appointment?" Because baby, by this time my lunch has started. You know what I mean? So I'm really watching the time. I'm like, my lunch has started. I need to eat. Plus, I need to take my medicine. So he don't want to see me when I ain't. When I ain't took my medicine. So I'm like, have you seen the doctor? He was like, I'm still at my appointment. He said, no, I have not seen the doctor. I was like, you've been there how long? And yo, I think he said he had been there for an hour. I was like, you been there for an hour and you ain't seen the doctor? And then he started telling me things that he was seeing going on, and the shenanigans that were going on there. I was like, no. You know, this when that hunger really started kicking in, y'all, because I was real hungry. Y'all know how I get when I'm hungry. I get a little bit hungry, a little bit. He don't know. Because he don't know me that well. He ain't never seen me when I'm hungry. But baby, when he told me he still ain't seen the doctor, I was like, oh no. I said, you need to be a man. Go up there and tell them that you demand to be seen right now. Because you, first of all, I know how doctor's appointments, that them bills be expensive. So the type of doctor he was at, I ain't never been to that type of doctor before, but I know y'all done went to that type of doctor before, and I done seen, you know, y'all go to them type of doctors. So I know them doctors was getting paid. All doctors get paid. So I knew from knowing Vanilla Child, I knew that the doctor that he was at, it was an expensive doctor. So all that money you paying, they need to see you now. You been there too long. They need to see you now. So he was like, you think I should go up there and say something? I was like, yes, go up there and you tell them and demand that they see you right now. You know what I'm saying? If the doctor can't see you, at least let the nurse, somebody up in there need to see you. You know what I'm saying? So you can get up out of there. You know what I mean? Cause yeah, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, man, I'm on my lunchtime right now. I ain't said it to him. That's what I was thinking. I'm on my lunchtime. By the time you finish there and swoop through and pick me up, by the time I get to the restaurant and listen, I was hungry, y'all. I was like, He was like, so you thinking I should go up there and say something? I'm like, yes, go up there right now and say something. I said, you demand right now that they see you. You know what I'm saying? And, I probably said some other things too. I can't remember, y'all. So, he was like, okay. He said, I'm gonna call you. He said, I'm gonna call you back afterwards. I was like, yeah, call me back and let me know that you're on your way or whatever. So, hung up the phone. So then, out of the time, I'm like, I don't have, I need to eat. First of all, y'all know normally when I go somewhere, I eat before I go anyways. But because I knew that we were going to the expensive restaurant and I wanted to make sure I had an appetite and ate the food so his coins wouldn't go to waste, I didn't eat nothing. But baby, listen, I was hungry. And I was like, I'm finna eat. I'm finna go ahead and eat. I was like, because by the time he finished doing whatever he doing, we not going to have no time to go on no lunch. And I was like, if he was serious about that interview with you, I was like, if I did good. But if I did bad, okay, I'm not tripping because you want me. I you know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying? So I should have did what I normally do, which is eat before I go to lunch. Go to a restaurant I've never been to before. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know y'all know how I do. If I'm going to a restaurant I ain't never been to before, I eat before I go just in case the food is nasty and I don't want the food. And that's what I normally would do. So I'm like, listen, I'm finna go out here and eat. And when he called me, I'm just gonna tell him that we're gonna have to reschedule. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. Y'all, I ate my food. I looked at the time. I was like, I gotta go. I was like, if he called me, I'm not. It's gonna be a no. That we can't do nothing. We can't meet up for nothing. It's gonna be a no. And then I started looking at it like, is this a sign? Is this a sign? Because I remember me being so nervous the day before. And then with the situation with his doctor and everything, I was like, is this a sign that I should not break bread with this man? Is this a sign that I should not go in business with him? All kind of things were going through my head, you know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and went about my day or whatnot. He didn't call me, yo. He didn't call me. So then I started thinking, I was like, what if he got arrested? Like, what if he went and acted crazy up in there? You know what I'm saying? Because he was really anxious and excited about having a meal with me and whatnot. I was like, what if, because hunger make you do crazy things. I was like, what if, something went down? I was like, what if he got arrested? What if he did something he wasn't supposed to do and he got arrested for doing it in that doctor's place? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. So I was like, I was like, oh, he gonna call me. He gonna call me later. I'm pretty sure. Cause normally, if it would have been a regular work day, I would hear from him at the end of the day. But since he had an appointment and we were supposed to have lunch and everything, since it was different, I was like, I know for sure, I'm gonna hear from him before I go to bed. Baby, I went about my day and everything. Bedtime came, I was getting ready for bed, and I didn't hear from him. And I was like, I must have didn't do good on my interview. Maybe I said maybe that's what it was. Maybe I didn't do good on the interview. I was like, maybe that's why he didn't. Like, it was so much going through my mind, y'all. So I was like, what if he got arrested? What if he went to jail? What if I didn't do good on the interview? What if, like, it was just so much going through my mind, y'all. So much. I was like, what if he had a panic attack or asthma attack or something like that? Because I remember he was saying, I remember him being so excited about seeing me and everything. I was like, what if he had an attack or something? It was so much going through my mind, y'all. I was like, I was so nervous, y'all. It made my blood pressure high. That's how nervous I was, y'all. My blood pressure, I tried to lay down and go to bed. I could not. My blood pressure was high. And I was like, OMG, my blood pressure is high. He done made my blood pressure high. Which, of course, I took that as another sign. I was like, is this a sign? Because I'm not supposed to be doing things that make my blood pressure high. I don't want to be on the blood pressure pills or whatnot. And I was like, well, this is a sign that I need to stay away from him. Because he made my blood pressure high. So, man, it was just so many thoughts going through my head. So, y'all know that when days go by and I don't hear from someone, I forget them. And I was trying to remember, did I tell him that? I was trying to remember. I was like, did I let him know that if I go days without hearing from him, I'm going to forget him? Did I tell him that? I was trying to remember. I can't remember if I told him or not. But, I had told people about the restaurant and us going to the restaurant, whatnot, and everything. So, of course, people was hitting me up, asking me how did it go at the restaurant. So, because we didn't go, and I let people know what happened, whatever was wrong, people have been, hitting me up, asking me, have I heard from him? Is he okay? Which woo? I ain't heard from him, y'all. It has been some days, y'all, and I'm remembering him because people is asking about him. Asking, have I spoke to him? Asking me, all that stuff, and have I been to the restaurant and whatnot. So, no, I have not heard from him. I remember him because people, like I said, is keeping him on my memory. Um, I gotta drink some water, y'all, cause I just ate that meal that was not good. It was delicious. Don't get me wrong. It was delicious, but it wasn't good for my for it. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy. And I've been doing so good with eating healthy stuff. Baby, why I can't get this open? I'm trying to help him drink this water, cause I don't want my blood pressure to be up. Baby, I can't get this open. I need to drink some water, y'all. So, why when it's tops like this, I can't never get them open, y'all? I be struggling for real. But, I still haven't heard from him. Nobody asked about him yesterday. Nobody asked about him so far for today. Like, I mean, what y'all think? Do y'all think I should just forget about my vanilla chai? I'm not gonna repeat what I almost said, but it was not vanilla. It was something else that start with a V and end with an A. That's what I almost said, y'all. I almost said that, but I was trying to say vanilla chai. Baby, why I can't never open these kind of tops? Okay, so where's the straw at? Oh, because y'all know I'm a lady. I just can't, yeah, you know. Y'all know I got bukus of straws. You know that. Y'all know that for sure, for sure. So, I'm about to drink me a bunch of water because I want no high blood pressure. So, if I do not hear from him today, and if nobody reminds me about him, I'm going to forget, y'all. I'm going to forget. And then here's the thing. That restaurant, would it be, okay, this is a serious question. Would it be wrong of me to go to that restaurant that he told me about with someone else? Because that food did look so delicious. It did. And it was so expensive. So, would it be wrong for me to go to that restaurant that Vanilla Chai and I was supposed to go to? Would it be wrong for me to go with somebody else? Because here's the thing. I want to go to that restaurant because I've never been there before. The food looked good. And I want to go before I forget about that restaurant. Matter of fact, I don't know, I already forgot the name of it. But I know I had told some people about it. And I know if I asked them, they probably remember the name of it. You know, which food. They probably done went to it, you know what I'm saying? Because I sent them the menu and they said the food looked good and whatnot. So they probably done went, you know what I'm saying? So, is it okay if I go with someone else to that restaurant? I mean, because it's been some days, y'all. I ain't heard from him. And that food did look good. It did. Y'all let me know. Seriously, let me know. Would it be, what I do with the top? Okay, let me put the top on here. I'm so full. Ooh, I'm so full. Oh, I can't believe I ate that. I've been doing so good, eating healthy, exercising and everything. Got my weight down and everything. But I was hungry, y'all. I was hungry. I ate that. So, yeah, let me know. Is it okay for me to go with someone else there? Would that be okay? Or would that be saying how I don't know what done happened to him? I honestly think that I didn't do good on my interview, and that's why I haven't heard from him. I think he was, he was like, oh, no, she not the one. And, I think that's why I haven't heard from him. I hope that's the reason why, because I don't want anything to happen to him or have happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. What y'all think? I mean, cause that food at that restaurant, it did look real good, and y'all know that I do have some friends who are foodies like I am, that I know would love to go to that restaurant. I know that for sure, for sure. So, excuse me, y'all. So, listen, I thank y'all so much for listening and watching, and I really appreciate y'all. I do. Make sure you thumbs up the video if you are a foodie like I am. And you know how I be speaking people into existence. I feel in my spirit that since I done told y'all, we done talked about him and everything, I feel like I'm gonna hear from him real soon. I feel it in my spirit because I be speaking people into existence. I feel it in my spirit. Um, when I do I do we continue where we left off? Do we start over? Do like what should I do, yeah? Cause I really don't know. Cause I never been in this type of situation before. And then, mind you, Bennett and I are still cool. We're still cool. We're still good. Um, I think. I mean, we are, but things are kind of different. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Not right now. Not right now. I just had to tell y'all the situation. Explain to y'all the situation that happened with Vanilla Child. I had to explain that situation to y'all. Okay, so not right now. Not right now, because lunch is over. But I'm going to come back to y'all and we're going to discuss something else. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Ooh, excuse me. See, that's why I know I shouldn't have been eating it. I shouldn't have been eating it. Because, man, and then here in Texas, the weather changed bad. Yeah, the weather is getting. I mean, it's in the 80s, which is cold to me, but I know to y'all that's probably hot. But it's in the 80s, and the weather is changing. It's not in the hundreds. It's not in the 90s. It's in the 80s. It might be 89, but still, that's the 80s. That's the 80s. But listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all be blessed, okay?